people that had bought their properties under the right to buy scheme quite a while ago. And what's happening now in Islington Council is that they are actively repurchasing homes previously sold via the National Right to Buy scheme. And this includes around 907 homes by March 2026, with 193 bought in the latest round, using funds from the Greater London Council and the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government, which is the MHCLG. Now, why are they doing it now? It's apparently they're facing the highest ever numbers in temporary accommodation. Over 1,700 homeless households are under pressure to house both local families and refugee arrivals from Afghanistan and Ukraine. Why are homeowners being asked to pay? Now, this is what's happening, is that the homeowners are being levied massive bills, up to £70,000 for repairs, as part of this saleback process. So it's almost a fait accompli. These people that have bought their homes and are now leaseholders, private leaseholders, are now being given these huge bills, which is forcing them into either bankruptcy or, if they can borrow the money from the bank. If they can't, they are being forced to sell up. If the leaseholders must settle these service charges and any outstanding major works before completion. And since the council only buys back the homes with vacant possession, developers often pass the repair costs onto the homeowners via Section 20 notices, which is really, you've got to bear the cost of this. And I think there's a slide there. I'm sorry, I've lost the screen that shows me the slides, so I'm sort of doing this a bit blind. But there is a slide there that shows the cost of, for instance, a 3 to 4 bedroom flat is 68,700 and something, which is a massive amount for someone to have to pay, and it's forcing them out, basically. Now, what's interesting is the announcement will make the council's buybacks programme one of the largest in the country. All the homes will be ex-council homes in Islington that were sold under this right to buy policy, and it will be a mix of 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom properties for individuals and families. Now, what seems to be happening is that the Islington Council have employed a public-private partnership, really, a management. It's called Partners Islington, Private Finance Initiative Management, and they've passed responsibility on to this management company. And unfortunately, the repurposed buyback homes are being used for temporary accommodation. So this isn't long-term. This isn't long-term council tenants like we always used to have. These are for refugees and homeless households from Afghanistan, Ukraine, and other crises under the UN and UK resettlement schemes. These homes support integration and stability for people in vulnerable situations and part of the borough's commitment as a borough of sanctuary. Well, that's all very good, but why are people being made homeless for this? I don't really, I find this really astounding. You've got Councillor John Wolfe, who's the executive member for Homes and Neighbourhoods, and he says his reason is there are currently 1,737 homeless households living in temporary accommodation in Islington, the highest figure since records began. These homes will provide security for people experiencing homelessness or for those who fled conflict, giving them the stability they need to start rebuilding their lives locally. More people will have access to good quality temporary accommodation in Islington when they need it most. I'm proud that we are leading the way with our buyback programme and doing everything we can to increase the number of council homes in the borough. And then there's a quote from Abdul Basit Bahrami, who's a resident of an ex-right to buy property. And he said, moving to a council buyback home changed my life. After fleeing Afghanistan safely and having a safe and secure place to live gave me the stability I need to rebuild. I was able to continue studying for my PhD, something I once thought was impossible. Being close to my 2 brothers has made a huge difference. It's meant our family could stay connected and and support each other. This home has also given me the chance to raise my own family in a safe and welcoming community. Well, I think that's great if we can help people, but do we need to force people out of their homes and bankrupt them to do so? I don't think it's, this is just madness. And then you've got other residents who actually did buy on the right to buy scheme. Augusti George Reggio, who is retired, he's been living in his flat since 1981 and received an estimated bill of between 57,000 and 61,000. And he says, I would expect a Labour council to be more caring to the needs of ordinary citizens. This will take up most of my savings, leaving me at the mercy of friends and family. And then there's another man called Neil Hoskin, who's a resident also. And he said, I'm incredibly worried. I fear it will sink me both financially and in terms of my mental health. So this is a real problem. I mean, I don't know what you think, Ben, but it's astounding. And it's happening, in Islington, and it will be trialled everywhere else as well, I would imagine.
It's just theft, isn't it? Theft of private assets by the state. And actually the fact that these were sold by the councils in the 80s, now obviously being bought back significantly more, I would imagine, than the value that was got for them at the time is, it's just classic mismanagement and corruption by local councils. And who's running the Cabinet Office at the moment? The former Mayor of Camden. So there you go.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Ben and Sandy, really joining the dots. And I think it does bring to bear the very significant subversion and manipulation of the system that the local authorities should be running for the benefit of those who are paying for it. But obviously we see that that's not happening. I think specifically with that, getting people to buy homes in a leasehold capacity and then abusing the freehold system by which they control what's spent on the building, leaving the leaseholder powerless, is particularly egregious. And also, of course, this makes it totally relevant to a lot of what Ben's been reporting about the control of local media in order that these issues are communicated in a particular way. Now, if you are not yet a member of UK Column, you may not be aware that we are funded solely by our members and our donors. So if you would like to join in and support us, then please go to the website and look at the ways in which you can do that. And we would be delighted to have you on board as a member. I'm pleased to say that selling like hotcakes in the shop, we have a fantastic I Love CO2 badge, and let's face it, we'd be a bit pushed without any of it. So at the moment, demand has outstripped supply, but please do get an order in and we will get that to you soon. Now, we've not yet released a date for the sale of tickets, but we are getting very excited about our upcoming event in York on Saturday, the 18th of October. There will be further details on that when we have them, including a date of release for tickets. So if you were thinking of getting in touch to ask when are the tickets going to be on sale, we will tell you exactly when that will be shortly, but just not quite yet. Now, Ben and Brian spoke and that went out and was very well received yesterday. Ben's just going to give us a few quick words on that.
Brian Gerrish, legend, leader, go watch it.
Perfect, well done, very brief and to the point. Now, going out tomorrow, Mark Anderson speaks to Phil Turney, going back to 1967, about the unprovoked attack on the USS Liberty by Israel. Of course, particularly timely interview to think back to that period. So that's going out tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And then tonight at 7 o'clock, we've got the German Warfare Show with Stu Peters being interviewed tonight. Next weekend, it's nearly there. We're going to be at the Sounds Beautiful Festival in Dorset between the 26th and 29th of this month. So please come and see us there. And then next month, we've got the Thetford Truth and Freedom Beer Festival, which both Sandy and Diane are involved in. So do get along to that. Just after that, on the 20th of July, there'll be a dissident meetup near Exeter. Of course, links to all this will be in the show notes. And then August Bank Holiday weekend will be the Hope Freedom Music Festival, and UK Column will have a strong presence there. So we do hope we will see you at that point.